Hey guys, Geno Zero, how you doing? I hope all is well in YouTube land. Whatever part of the world that you are in. Yes, I don't have my hat on. I have a sweat bag on. Don't give me no crap because it's hot and I'm sweating. And we're working on the barn, and we figured we'd give you all a quick update where we are on the barn and what we got going on. One of the things that we did was we put the lights in. This is the solar lights we got from the EEP. This is a 2-light system, completely self-contained. And that way when we come in, and especially in the wintertime when the days are short, we come in, we turn our lights on, and we have light in the barn, and we don't have to run any kind of wiring. I believe this unit is about 150 bucks roughly, at least it was when I bought it about a year ago. And like I say, they got a 2-light and a 4 lights. We got the 4-light system in the house that we use for lighting, and saves me the cost and the pain in the butt of trying to have to wire the barn for lights. Eventually we're going to put another solar panel and some batteries and stuff like that out here so we can have our own little contained system to run water pumps and so on, but we'll get to that way down the road. So that's one of the things we did. We put the lights in. Something else that we did was my buddy Greg, Mr. Moving On Greg, he had an extra roll of this tar paper roofing material, so we just wound it out along the walls here to help with the gaps in between the boards, keep some of the weather out. And something else that we're doing is, you notice these feed sacks that we are putting on. Most feed sacks are going to have the white plastic lining on the inside of them. So we've been cutting them. Well, I'll just cut one for you real quick to show you. So we've got a rabbit feed bag. We go through a lot of feed sacks, and this is one way that we can put them to some use. We just cut the end of it off. And if you're like me, you can't cut a straight line. So we cut the end of it off like that, to where it makes this open-ended on both sides. And then we just cut down the strip down the middle here. Like that, so that we can open up the feed sack like this. And then we just take them to the spot that we need them. And staple them on like that. Just staple them on like that, staple it all the way down. This does a couple of things for us. One, it makes a white wall that makes the interior of this barn brighter and easier to see. Two, it's plastic, so when we put the cages, when we mount the cages on here, any kind of urine, poo, and pee type things are going to run off and not stain and start the walls rotting. And B or C or 3, whatever I'm on, it'll also help with the keeping the weather and the winter winds and so on out of the barn to make it warmer. And also it should help keep it cooler in the summertime. Along with the windows, you can see we cut the windows out. We've got 3 windows in here. These are just some old recycled windows that we had. My buddy Greg, again, had laying around in his massive scrap yard. We try to use as much recycled stuff as we can to keep the cost down and to keep the landfills emptier. So these are just some windows. I've got one over here, a bigger window that's got a screen on it that we can use to open it up and close it, the screened in area, so that we can have some breeze come through here. And these other windows here, they're just mounted where I can just pop them off and take them down in the summertime, and we'll put some fans, hook them up to our solar panels, and get some breeze going through to keep everybody cool. We have some 2x2s here that we run level. I know it doesn't look like it's level, but it is. We ran it with a level, that way this is where we're going to put our cages at. We'll mount our cages onto here. That keeps them up off the ground and it keeps them level, and we'll run a single line of cages around this way and along that way. But this is where we are so far in the barn. And I wanted just to kind of share what we're doing and what we're using and how we're doing it. So the next step for us is going to be to finish putting these feed sacks up around the walls, and then we'll start mounting cages, and we'll probably give you guys a maybe another update, but we'll probably just bring the camera out when we're done and we have our cages and we have our rabbits moved over here. It's going to be a lot more efficient and neat place to raise and grow our rabbits. This cage here is awesome, and we'll probably do a whole separate video on it once we can get to it a little bit better, but it's made completely out of the wire closet shelving. A lot of if you find any houses that are up for sale or being recycled, you can find this a lot of times just in scrap piles, or you can find it at some sort of lumber liquidator type stores. But my roommate Mary built this cage, and it is awesome. And it was, I think we've got maybe $20, $25 roughly in it, because we had some of this shelving around that we didn't use in our closet. So anyway, we'll do a whole separate video on this cage and show you how we put it together at some point. But there you have it. So far, the rabbit barn is coming together. These old tables that my friend Jimbo from Holcomb's Haven Homestead, those are some old tables that they had that the legs broke off and didn't work, so we're going to use them to make some shelves over here in this area to, you know how shelves are in the barn. They won't be long and they will be crammed full of stuff. So anywho, that's where we are. That's where we are. I don't know what else to say. So thank you guys very much for watching. We're going to get back after it, because you know, barns don't build themselves. Unfortunately, I think one of these days somebody should invent one that you can just like open up a suitcase, plug it in, and there it goes, and voila. Yeah, so have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. God bless. The end. Buzz, buzz, the end.